Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at Smith&Wesson, let's get the little name here, I can't remember off my head, SW605BL. It's the product number and also the name. So this knife right here is probably running about $35 to $40 depending on where you get it at. It's not a perfect knife by any means, but you would be perfectly fine carrying this in your pocket. So to get started off, open it up right here. We have a nice drop point blade. The whole thing is about 3.5 inches. Cutting length is just under 3 3/4 or something around there of length. And then for size comparison, let's throw out Benchmade Mini Griptilian, and then take that guy away, and then your Leatherman Wave. So this blade, or this knife right here, is in an HCR13 MOV blade, which is barely inadequate or barely adequate. If you don't use your knife a lot, it's going to be perfectly fine, but if you're a heavy knife user, probably want to go with something like D2 or like another different steel. D2 is also a budget mid-range steel. This one's pure budget. And it's a liner lock knife right here. So typical liner lock, push it over like that. Ways of deploying this blade are by thumb studs or flipper, which is not assisted. Most of the time cheaper knives are assisted, but nope, this one's not assisted, and that detent is not, like, they didn't care about the detent whatsoever. Otherwise, when I flicked this, it would have gone whoop. And then for carry in the pocket options, you got left side tip down carry with a pretty sturdy pocket clip, deep carry. I haven't had any problems with these screws even though they're not recessed. The centering job on here is pretty good. Action opening, it's not the best, but considering it's on Teflon, it's actually running pretty smooth. Locks up really solidly, no play whatsoever. Ergonomics are pretty good. Only real hot spot is off the clip, but that's what you get on pretty much every knife. And then it's got this little finger choil up here where you put your finger in and choke up on it, which also doubles as the sharpening choil. And then with the handles, it's probably some sort of aluminum or pot metal something, and then rubberized texture right here. It's kind of confusing in hand because it looks like it feels a little bit like rubber, but it's plastic. And then fit and finish, pretty good, if I do say. It's got pretty good, like, if you look up real closely, you may see some blemishes. Like, yeah, like right there. But it's not too bad. And then you got a little lanyard hole in the back, which is kind of funky because it is like a oval, rectangular type deal, whereas typical ones are more circular, like the mini grip. And then flow through design, so pocket lint and junk like that will go through there. Really solid down here. Grind comes to fairly nice tip. Not perfect tip really, but comes to a nice enough tip that it's not going to be a problem. And then they actually did a pretty good job. Come on, focus. Focus on my knife blade, not the hand. Forget it. They did a pretty good job on the grind. It's actually symmetrical, but I don't know if that's just mine or they actually do a good job throughout the whole line. Thumb studs are pretty straight. There's just a little bit of offness to them, but it's like what you expect. And then with the liner lock, pokes up just a little bit, but this actually doesn't create a big hot spot. But it's a little sharp to close though. But other than that, it's really smooth. Like, it doesn't feel gritty. It's just a pretty thick knife in general. Like, typically, I don't know if this is going to be a good example or not, but typically knives are slimmer and carry in your pocket a little bit better since they're slimmer. But this knife does a good job being a big old boy. And I think it's probably about the same thickness as a Wave. Yeah, like including the clip, it's probably the same thickness as a Leatherman Wave. The blade came super sharp out of the packaging. Came in a blister card. You could probably find these many places. And so then this isn't pretty. This isn't really a problem because the flipper tab's kind of minimal, and it doesn't bother your pocket because it kind of pokes off to the side, and I could still have stuff in my pocket. So this has been a quick review of Smith&Wesson branded pocket knife right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have an excellent day.